So take The Exorcist, without going to another review of The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Why
I
you've
will
seen
do
that? But you've seen that 200 times, I think,
least.
haven't you? At least. What is it about that really touched you personally?
It works for me every time, and every time I see it, it looks like a different film. I can't think of any other way of explaining it other than every time I see it, like any great work of art, like a sculpture that people love, or a painting that people love, or a piece of music that you love. If somebody said to you, you were talking to the Pet Shop Boys just now, and you said the opening of that song is cinematic, okay? Well, but that word doesn't really encompass everything about it. You're trying to describe it. Somebody said, okay, explain to me the opening of that film. Explain to me what those emotions are, that those chords. You'd be there. Well, that's how I feel about The Exorcist. If I try and I can tell you, incredible avant-garde sound, brilliant special effects, fantastic story written by somebody wrestling with their own theology, performances by Max von Sydow, Linda Blair. I could tell you all those things, but that's not the answer. The answer is every time I see it, it looks like a different film. And I promise you, I've seen it over 200 times. I've taken it apart. I've made documentaries about it. I've written about it. It doesn't make any difference. Every time it starts, I just go, there we are, and it works. I'm there in Georgetown, and it works.
There must come a point when you're going to watch it again and it starts to get repetitive.
I have had times when I've watched it and I thought, and then I see it again the next time and I'll go, no, it's Citizen Kane.
And Linda Blair, who you talk at length about when you
not
met,
that length, there was some length.
At some length. I mean, that must be an extraordinary thing. You're not just, when you met Linda Blair, you're not just meeting someone in a film. You're meeting someone who you've watched in a film over 200 times.
I hadn't seen it over 200 times by the time I met her.
How many times had you seen it when you met her?
About 100 probably. But the thing...
That must have been... Was that a weird thing then?
Probably weirder for her because I was completely wigged out because it was one of the very first interviews I did. I'd gone over to America trying to pitch around for interviews and I got her agent somehow to agree to be able to interview her for Time Out. And I was really panicky and really nervous. And she came into the restaurant where I'd agreed to meet her, and I'd been there for half an hour because I got there early. And in some strangely delusional way, I decided that the way to impress her by showing her how much of a proper journalist I was to take everything I owned out of my bag and arrange it on the table in front of me. And it looked like I was playing Risk or something, or having a yard sale of everything I owned. And she turned up and she looked at me and she said, "Are you Mark?" And I looked up and it was Linda Blair, and I literally went, "Oh!" And she went, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were Mark." And I went, "Oh!" And then she started walking away, and I went, "Oh, Mark!" And she went, "It's a Mark!" And I had to really, really sort of come to it. But then she was lovely, and the great thing about her was she was intelligent, smart, and funny, and she'd lived through this extraordinary experience, and people had behaved madly to her ever since. She said she used to go into supermarkets. She was like 14, 15 years old. She was, she'd go into supermarkets, people would clock her, they would run screaming away from her.
People don't realise she's made loads of films.
Oh, she's done loads. I mean, absolutely loads of films. She was at one point voted by, I think it was Variety, as one of the hardest working actors in Hollywood, not in an ironic way, just in a sheer day's worked kind of way. She's a real tough worker.